Okay, so again, this video is intended for my GE students, but in case the CE students also need this part, pwede nyo i-skip kung ayaw nyo na, pero pwede nyo pa rin panoorin no? If you need reiteration or reinforcement from our previous discussion. So, second to the last example, for collision example, sabi dito, a proton collides elastically with another proton that is initially at rest. So, yung system natin, meron tayong dalawang object wherein one is in motion and the other proton is at rest. Sabi dito, the incoming proton has an initial speed of 3.5 raised to 5 meter per second and makes a glancing collision with the second proton. So, pag nakakita kayo ng word na glancing collision, that automatically entails na elastic yung collision na nangyari. Kasi 'di ba pag meron tayong proton and proton, alam naman natin magre-repel yung dalawang yan because they are like charges. No? So, dahil proton-proton sila, hindi sila pwedeng in contact talaga. No? Hindi talaga sila pwedeng magbanggaan. So, ang mangyayari is parang there is a specific distance or minimum distance na kung saan pwede silang magkalapit or maximum distance, kako sana, na pwede pa silang magkalapit sa isa't isa before they repel each other. So, tawag doon ay yung glancing collision din. So, makes a glancing collision with the second proton. And after the collision, one proton moves off at an angle 37 degrees to the original direction of motion, and the second deflects at an angle phi to the same axis. So we want to find the final speed of the two protons and the angle phi. Yung last na nasagot natin na ganitong system din, ang pinahanap sa atin ay final speed ng isang object and yung angles na dalawa. Pero this time, given yung isang angle, given yung isang yung initial velocity, pero ang kailangan hanapin ay yung final speed ng two objects plus the final angle of one object. Okay? So, yung alam natin about the problem, let's list it down first. Tawagin natin proton A, yung initially moving. So, proton A is initially moving with speed 3.5 times 10 raised to 5 meter per second. And proton B is initially moving, hindi pala, is initially at rest, no? So, 0 meter per second. And then, sabi dito, after the collision, one proton moves off at an angle 37. So, say for example, si A na lang yon, no? Siya na lang yung na-deflect at theta is 37. So, meron akong theta is 37 degrees and phi, which is unknown, no? So, yung phi ay yung angle of deflection ni proton B natin. Now, hindi natin alam yung speed ng pareho. So, VA is unknown and VB is unknown. So, again, class, kailangan ma-recognize na po natin na dito sa part na to, right after the collision, meron na naman tayong X and Y components. No? So, initially, yung first proton natin, si A proton natin is just moving along X. Pero after the collision, meron ka ng component along your x-axis and component along your y-axis. So, ibig sabihin nito, meron na naman tayong x and y na is-split sa momentum. No? So, glancing collision, which means that this is elastic collision, and therefore both your momentum and your KE is conserved. Kung titignan natin, meron tayong tatlong unknowns, which means that we need to have a total of 3 equations na i-formulate. No? So, start muna tayo sa conservation ng momentum natin. So, sa momentum natin, again, class, meron tayong Px and Py. So, it's up to you if you want to start with P or if you want to start with K. O, sige, pwede nating simulan ng Ke para makita nyo lang, no? So, say for example, I'll start with Ke. Again, class, ang Ke natin is a scalar quantity. So, wala tayong pakialam kung nagsisplit siya with X and Y. So we simply have 1/2 MA VA naught squared. So KE initial of A plus KE initial of B is equal to KE final of A plus KE final of B. Okay? Alam natin na yung object B initially ay at rest, so mawawala lang to. And we also know that the protons, proton-proton collision to, so same sila ng mass, so we can get rid of the 1/2 times mass. Okay? So we're simply left with VA naught squared is equal to VA squared plus VB squared. Now, kung titignan natin itong equation na to, meron tayong ilang unknowns, meron tayong dalawa. You have your VA and your VB. So, wala pa tayong pwedeng makuha rito, but we will set this as our equation 1. Okay, so nakaset na tayo ng equation 1. Let's proceed to momentum kasi wala na tayong pwedeng kuhanin kay KE natin. No? So, punta tayo kay momentum. Again, for the momentum, this is a vector quantity. So, we have to divide it per axis. No? So, meron tayong X and meron tayong Y. So, for the momentum along X, katulad ng ginagawa natin ng mga nakaraan, no? We simply have momentum of A initially along X plus momentum of B along X ulit, initial, is equal to momentum of A final along X plus momentum of B final along X. Again, sabi ko, ang VB naught natin is 0 lang, so mawawala lang ito. And as I've mentioned earlier, parehas lang ang masses, so matatanggal lang yung masses. Therefore, for this PX, I am left with VA naught X is equal to VAX plus VBX. Take note na yung VA naught X dito, class, is simply this one, yung VA naught natin. So, pwede ko nang tanggalin itong X dito. No? So, para makita ko na, same lang itong VA naught X na to with the VA naught squared na meron tayo kanina. So, again, tinanggal natin yung X kasi yung VA naught X dito only pertains to the initial motion of your A, which is simply VA naught. No? So, wala naman siyang Y component. So, meron akong VA naught is VAX plus VBX. Now, ano itong VAX and VBX ko? So, I'm going to draw separately itong Windows 1, yung proton natin, nung nag-deflect na siya. So, si proton A natin, let me just use another ink. So, si proton A natin ay paganyan. So, it has a final speed VA at an angle theta. No, yung theta natin, 37. And meron siyang component along I. This is your, along X, which is your VAX. And meron din siyang component along Y, which is your VAJ or your VAY. Okay? And then for your VB, ganun din. No? So VB natin ay nasa pababa. So VB is towards this direction. And it has an angle phi, no? Negative phi from the x-axis. So you have a component VBI hat, or sorry, VBX and a component VBY. Okay, so ganun ulit, katulad ng mga ginagawa natin nakaraan, makikita natin that VAX is simply, tawag dito, VAX is simply adjacent to your theta, so this will use cosine. VAY is simply opposite, so this will use sine. Si VBX naman natin, ganun din, it's adjacent. No, makikita nyo, nakakabit siya kay phi. So this will again use cosine. And VBY is opposite, so this will use sine. Okay, so pag nire-write ko ito, i-erase ko na lang no, instead of rewriting everything. So yung VAX ko at yung VBX ko will simply be VA cosine of phi plus VB cosine of negative phi. So it's up to you if you, parehas na bituin ka. VA cosine of theta, sabi ko sana. Okay, so VA cosine theta for A plus VB cosine negative phi. Now, it's up to you if you want to plug in the values already. No? So, pwede naman i-plug in nyo na, pero for this solution, hindi ko muna siya ipa-plug in, no? Para hindi ako malito habang nagsosolve. Okay, so this is my equation 2, no? Again, for equation 2, I have how many unknowns? I have the VA, the VB, and the phi. So, 3 unknowns dito. Meron na akong isang equation kanina. So, I need one more equation. And that will come from our PY. So, sa PY natin, ito ulit, same equation, but I'll be changing all x to y's. So, I now have MA, VA not y. Okay, so katulad kanina, all masses are equal, so I'll cancel all of them. And then, si VA not Y natin, si A natin ay initially moving na along X. It does not have any speed along Y, so ito ay magzi-zero lang. And again, si VB not natin ay straight rest initially. So, no component along X and Y. So, magzi-zero lang dito. So, I am left with negative VAY is equal to VBY. No? So, nilipat ko lang yung VAY sa kabila. Now, I already know that VAY will use up sign. VBY is also sign. So, I can rewrite this equation as negative VA sine theta is equal to VB sine of negative phi. So this is now my equation 3. Okay, nakita na natin itong format na to nung nag-solve tayo nung nakaraan. So if we go back to that, okay, so nakita na natin that in Px and in Py, magkaiba yung trigonometric function for the same angle. So, we can see here cosine alpha, sine alpha, cosine negative beta, sine of negative beta. So, kung babalikan natin tong solution natin ngayon, meron tayong cosine theta, sine theta, cosine negative theta, sine negative theta. So, hindi, again, no, i-reiterate ko lang, hindi ko pwedeng gawin dito, class, na i-isolate ko yung phi. I cannot do that. Yung parang usual na ginagawa natin sa x plus y and so on. No? Hindi natin siya pwedeng gawin kasi kapag in-isolate ko tong phi, I'm going to end up with an equation that will look like sine inverse of negative VA, negative sine inverse of negative VA sine theta over VB. So ito yung equation ng isolated phi natin, no? Which makes the system complicated kasi meron kang sine inverse of a sine function. And then, if I'm going to plug this in, itong phi na to, dito kay equation 2 na phi, dito, meron ka ng cosine of negative sine inverse, no? Which is very complicated. So again, yung solution na pinakita natin last time is to simply square, no? Yung ating equations 2 and 3 is squared equation para meron tayong ma-meet natin yung trigonometric identity na sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta giving us 1. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko dito, para makaproceed ako dito sa equation na to, dapat nasa iisang side yung sine and cosine of a theta ko. So, kung nasa left side itong sine theta ko, dapat si cosine theta ko ay nasa left side din. So, I'm going to rewrite equation 2 lang, no? Into, giging ano lang siya. So, pag nire-write natin siya, magiging minus VA cos theta is equal to VB cos negative phi lang siya. So, nilipat lang po natin. Kumbaga, nilipat lang natin itong VAX sa kabila. Okay, so now that I have equations 2 and 3 and alam kong gagamitin ko na itong trigonometric function, trigonometric identity na to, I'm going to create now my systems of linear equation. So, magiging magiging system sila of two linear equations. So, meron akong square of square of equation 2 plus square of equation 3. So, sa equation 3, very straightforward, napakabilis lang gawin. That is simply VA squared sine squared theta equal to VB squared sine squared of negative 5. But for equation 2, so meron tayong square ng, parang ang mangyayari sa equation 2 natin, meron tayong VA naught minus VA cosine theta squared, di ba? Equal to VB squared cos squared of negative 5. So, ito yung kailangan nating expand. So, as you can see, this follows your A minus B squared na format. So, this is simply A squared minus 2AB plus B squared upon expanding it. So, which is yung VA naught natin yung A, yung VA cosine theta natin yung B. So, following this one, I have the expansion VA naught squared minus 2 VA naught VA cos theta. So, this is your 2AB plus B squared, which is VA squared cosine squared theta equal to V, so itong dulo na, VB squared cosine squared of negative 5. Okay, so yan na yung ating formula. Iayos ko lang ito nga sa lower part so that I can align everything. Okay, so I have VA squared sine squared theta equal to VB squared sine squared of negative 5. Okay? So, pwede na nating ipagsama yung similar terms. So, itong VA naught, wala siyang kasimilar na term. So, this is simply VA naught squared, ibababa ko lang din to, minus 2 VA naught, VA cos theta, plus itong buong to ay magiging VA squared na lamang. And itong buong to ay magiging VB squared na lamang. So, sometimes nalilito yung mga bata, bakit naging ganun? If we're going to look at this equation, para lang siyang naging, wait, let me just create another slide. Okay, so bakit siya naging ganun, no? Bakit naging VA squared plus, VA squared na lang siya? So, kasi di ba parang meron kang VA squared cosine squared theta plus VA squared sine squared theta, di ba? Dito sa left-hand side natin, no? So, itong part na to. Now, I'm going to group the VA together. So, pwede kong parang i-pull out yung VA para meron na lang akong cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta. And this is 1. So, kaya siya naging VA squared lang. Hindi po siya 2VA squared. No, it doesn't work that way. Or hindi siya magiging 1 lang. Kasi ang 1 lang ay yung sine plus cosine, not the VA part. Okay, so VA squared is equal to VB squared. So, from our equation 2 and equation 3, we are able to generate another formula which we are going to call as our equation 4. So, from equation 4, nagamit na natin si 2 and 3, so we're good with that. Ang di pa natin nagagamit ay si equation 1. So, pwede natin tignan yung relationship between equation 1 and equation 4. Makikita natin dito, class, na meron din akong VB kasi ito naka-equate na siya sa VB squared. Ito may VB squared din. So, pwede kong ilipat ito sa kabila. No? So, meron akong VA naught minus VA is equal to VB squared, which means that this term and this term is equal. So, i-equate ko lang yung equation 1 and equation 4 ko. So, equation 1 equal to equation 4. Kasi parehas silang VB squared. So, I now have VA naught squared minus VA squared. This is your equation 1 kanina. Is equal to, yung equation 4 natin is simply this long term here. So, I have VA squared minus 2VA, VA not pala, VA cos theta plus VA squared. Okay, tama ba? Okay, so yan yung ating formula, no? You can notice that VA will cancel out pag nilipat mo, and yung VA squared natin will add up. So I have negative 2VA squared na. So if ililipat natin to on the other side, you have negative VA squared plus, magiging negative din yan. That's why it becomes negative 2VA squared, no? Is equal to negative 2VA naught VA cosine theta. Okay, so makikita natin dito that I can cancel out the negative 2. I can cancel out 1 VA. So I can now solve VA equal to VA naught cosine theta. So this is simply VA is equal to 3.5 times 10 raised to 5 cosine of 37. Okay, so this will give us VA equal to 2.80. So it's actually 2.7. Isulat ko yung buo. So 279,522.4285. So this is simply VA is equal to 2.80 times 10 raised to 5 meter per second. Okay? Ngayong na-solve na natin yung VA, pwede na nating makuha yung VB. Now, the only equation that we can use to get VB is either your equation 1 or your equation 4. So, syempre, hindi na yung equation 4 yung gagamitin kasi medyo mas mahaba. So, we're going to use equation 1. So, use equation 1 to solve VB. So, you have VB is equal to square root of your VA naught squared minus VA squared. So, I'm going to use the original, the original value of VA, yung hindi na round off muna, okay? Since I have it with me lang. So, meron akong 3.5 times 10 raised to 5 squared minus the answer earlier squared, and this gives me VB is equal to 210,635.2581, which gives me 2.11 times 10 raised to 5 meter per second. So this is now the final speed B of proton B. Now, ang natira na lang na kailangan natin hanapin ay si phi. Now, you can plug it in sa equation 2 nyo or sa equation 3 and you should arrive with an answer that is 53 degrees. No, hindi ko na siya isosolve, kayo na bahala mag-solve. So, 53 degrees, bakit? Kasi property ito class ng elastic or glancing collision na kung saan kapag ka daw equal yung mass ng object na nag-collide. So in this case, proton-proton, pantay yung mass nila. And doon sa collision na yon, one proton was, or one object is initially at rest. So kapag ka may dalawang object of equal mass na nag-collide, and yung isang object doon ay at rest, lagit-lagi ang kanilang angle of deflection will sum up to 90. Okay, so lagit-lagi yung kanilang angle of deflection will sum up to 90. Again, property ito ng glancing collision. So, later on, pag lumabas ito sa quiz or sa exam, and halimbawa nakakita kayo ng ganitong problem, you actually don't have to go through everything na square and systems of linear equation kung marirecognize nyo or marirealize nyo na, dapat yung angle ng deflection ay magsa-sum up to 90 lang. Okay? So, kapag kunwari nabasa nyo yung ganitong problem sa quiz or sa exam, tapos nakita nyo, same sila ng mass, one object was initially at rest, so ibig sabihin, yung isang angle ko of deflection is just a complement of the 37 here, no? Yung angle na given. So, complementary lang sila. And therefore, hindi ko na kailangan gawin itong systems of linear equation kasi makakapag-plug in na ako sa theta, makakapag-plug in na ako sa phi, pwede na ako laruin. Pwede ko nang laruin itong equation 2 and 3 lang. Okay, without going through the trouble of the systems of linear equation. So, yun no, property. Again, pagka lumabas na sa exam or quiz, kahit hindi nyo na siya isolve, no, pwede nyo na lang sabihin na theta is 53, complementary. Tapos, sabihin nyo na, this is a property of glancing collision. Okay, so ganyan na lang yung magiging sagot. If you remember how we work with work dati, nasabi lang natin work is 0 joules perpendicular, di ba? Ganun lang, you don't have to solve. So parang ganun din dito. Theta is complementary, which is a property of glancing collision. Okay, so let's proceed to the last example. So sabi dito, a 1500 kilogram car traveling east. Oops. With a speed of 25 meter per second collides at an intersection with a 2500 kilogram truck traveling north at a speed of 20. Find the direction and magnitude of the velocity of the wreckage after the collision, assuming that the vehicles stick together. So, may keyword tayo dito that the vehicles stick together, which means that we have a perfect inelastic collision. And again, sa inelastic collision natin, regardless kung partial or perfect ito, sabi natin momentum lang ang mako-conserve. So, only momentum is conserved. Okay, so kung i-drawing natin yung setup, meron tayong object that is moving east. Ayan, so we call this object E with mass 1500 and with speed 25 meter per second. And yung object B natin ay towards north with mass to 2500 kg with speed initial which is 20 meter per second. So alam natin, usually kapag ganitong collision, ang nangyayari ay diagonal yung kanilang um, direction after collision. No? So again, meron kang X dito, meron kang Y. Kasi one is traveling east, one is traveling north. So meron lang po tayong momentum along X and momentum along Y. So momentum along X, you have MAVA naught X plus, so yung normal nating equation, paulit-ulit. And same for Y, but I'm just going to change all X's to Y's. Okay. So alam ko na si mass B natin, wala siyang component sa X. No? It's purely moving to the Y direction. So wala lang to. And sa momentum along Y naman natin, si A natin ay walang movement along Y. So mawawala lang to. Okay, so I am left with this one. Now, kailangan nyo ding ma-recognize class na same yung speed nila in the end, no? So, kung ano yung speed ni A, yun din yung speed ni B sa dulo. So, itong PX ko, mare-reduce lang siya to MAVA naught X equal to, so, kung same yung kanilang speed, V, no? So, V final, or V na lang. Ibig sabihin, yung Vx nila at Vy nila ay parehas lang, no? Regardless kung A or B ito. So, this means that ito magiging MAVx plus MBVx lang siya. So, since parehas lang sila, ipag-group ko na lang itong blue. Okay? So, kailangan yung tandaan class pag meron kayong sticking together or perfect inelastic collision, usually nagkakaroon kayo ng joining ng mass, no? Usually meron tayong addition of mass. So okay lang kahit hindi nyo ito makita, pero this is a good indicator that you are on the right track kapag nakita nyo na na-realize nyo na, kailangan ko silang i-group. Okay? Kailangan ko silang i-group. For PY, ganun din. So meron akong MB, VB not Y is equal to MA plus MB VY. So kung i-assess natin yung momentum along X and momentum along Y natin class, makikita natin na isa lang ang unknown kada equation. Here you only have Vx, here you only have Vy. So mag-plug and play lang tayo. This is simply 1500 times initial speed along X, which is 25, equal to 4K. So yung sum ng mass nila, Vx. So we can get here a Vx already. So this is 9.375 meter per second. So I'm not using significant figures since this is not yet the final answer. And then for Vy, or so, sorry, for Py, ganun din, no? Meron ka ulit MB. Meron kang 25 times 20 over 4K to give you your Vy. So this will give me Vy is 12.5 meter per second. So hindi pa ito yung pinakakailangan natin sagot kasi we want to know the direction and magnitude of velocity. So alam nyo na to. Nakita na rin natin to before. So meron tayong V magnitude is simply square root of Vx squared plus Vy squared. So this will just give us, ba't ka pumasok? Sipag naman, ah. Hi, kasi so this will be 15.625 meter per second, or this is simply 1.56 times 10 raised to 1 meter per second. Okay, next for the theta, alam nyo na yan, this is simply tan inverse Vy over Vx. So bahala na kayong kumuha ng value nito. Okay. Okay, so proceed na tayo sa center of mass. No? So center of mass naman na tayo ngayon. So when we say center of mass, ang tinitignan natin dito ay basically kung saan parang pinaka nagko-collect yung mass ng isang particle. Kumbaga, kung meron kang sobrang laking, kung meron kang sobrang laking object and isi-shrink mo itong object na to, there is a specific point in its system kung saan siya pinaka mafe-feel yung mass. Kumbaga kung isi-shrink mo, saan pinaka sa center, saan yung parang pinaka-balance point niya, no? Saan parang pinaka magbabalance yung body na to. No? So yun yung center of mass natin. Pero makikita natin later na yung center of mass, even if even if ang pinag-uusapan dito ay kung saan magbabalance yung katawan, it's not always within or inside the body. So, titingnan natin siya later. Now, when we talk about center of mass, we can deal with a system that has definite number of particles or a system that is continuous and extended. So, say for example, meron tayong definite number of particles. So, say for example, meron tayong dalawang object na equal ang mass separated by a rod. Now, kapag dahil equal sila ng mass, alam natin na ang kanilang center of mass ay nasa gitna lang, no? Nasa gitna lang. Pero kung meron kang imbalance of mass katulad dito, orient ko lang siya horizontally because it's easier to imagine it horizontally. Parang iisipin nyo parang siyang seesaw. So, meron akong isang malaking mass on one end of the rod and a smaller mass on the other end of the rod. Alam ko na yung center of mass ng system na to ay nearer or closer to the heavier part of the system, no? Laging mas malapit ang center of mass doon sa mas mabigat na part ng system natin. So, dahil mas mabigat itong mass na to, mas malapit yung center of mass sa kanya. Ngayon, kung igagalaw ko or kung mag-a-apply ako ng force at this point of the system, itong system na to ay magro-rotate clockwise, no? Clockwise. So if you apply it at this point, mag-rotate siya clockwise. Parang isipin nyo maglalagay kayo ng material sa, ayan, hindi ko siya alam i-balance, pero kunwari ganyan, di ba? Tapos, kunwari na-balance nyo na siya. Pero pag pinush nyo ito, pinush nyo tong pen na to, pag ganyan, ano siya, di ba, gaganyan siya. Isoro-rotate to clockwise. Now, if I apply the force here naman, mag-rotate ko, counterclockwise, so baliktad lang. But if I'm going to apply the force at exactly the center of mass, there is no rotation na mangyayari. Ang mangyayari lang, gagalaw itong object na to or itong buong system na to towards the same direction as the force applied. So, kung pababa yung force na in-apply mo, yung buong system na yun ay gagalaw pababa lang din. Okay, same lang silang pababa. So, for here, ang equation natin ng, ang equation lang natin ng center of mass if the object is just along x and and the system is composed of two particles only, meron ka lang m1x1 plus m2x2 over m1 plus m2, which kapag madami na yung particles, pwede mo na siyang i-expand, no? Pwede mo na siyang habaan. So, depending on the number of particles divided by the total mass of all particles involved. Now, kung meron kang y, edi lagyan mo lang siya ng y. Meron kang z, edi lagyan mo lang din siya ng z. Or papalitan mo lang lahat yan ng z. Now, kapag dalawa or tatlo na yung axis mo, so isusulat, kunwari, meron ka ng two or more axis, no? So, isusulat mo na yung center of mass with respect to x, y, and z, no? So, magiging ganito na siya. RCM is equal to XCMI hat plus YCMJ hat plus ZCMK hat. Okay? And that is simply, if we're going to reduce, ito lang ay simply 1 over m summation of MIRI um, na vector. No? So, yung R vector mo dito, yung R vector natin dito is simply your XI hat, YJ hat, and ZJ hat vector. So, para hindi, makikita natin ito mamaya para hindi tayo magkalituan. So, we'll have one example that has dito, I and J. Okay? Kapag meron tayong extended continuous, bye-bye. Pag meron tayong extended continuous object, so sabi dito, an extended object can be considered to be a distribution of small elements of mass delta mi. So, ibig natin sabihin dito, kapag meron kang irregularly shaped na object, so hindi mo alam kung saan mo hanapin yung kanyang center of mass, basically, yung bawat particle dito is a derivative of mass. Okay? So, dm lang lahat po. A differential mass that is placed at some r distance. Okay? So, kunwari ito. Meron kang, if I'm going to choose a point here, that point here has a differential mass at some distance r from the 0, 0 point. Ganun din to, no? Meron din siyang some distance r and so is true with this differential mass na iba pa. Okay, so magkakaiba yung kanila or meron siyang differential mass placed at different points. So kapag ganyan, yung equation natin kanina, di ba ang equation natin kanina is XCM 1 over M. Kung babalikan natin, XCM is 1 over M, MI, XI lang, di ba? So, XCM 1 over M, MI, XI lang, di ba? So, yung original formula ay ito, summation of MIXI. Pero this time kasi, since yung mass natin ay differential lang or small element lang siya nung buong mass, then we know na meron tayong gradient dito, na meron kang gradient ng mass or differential mass. And therefore, pwede nating i-express yung center of mass ng isang continuous extended object in terms of an integral which is simply 1 over mx dm. Ganun din yung mangyayari sa y and sa z natin, and yung total natin or yung r natin is simply 1 over m r dm. So you have, again, for your r, you have your xi hat, your yj hat, and your zk hat. Okay, so maa-absorb natin to mamaya pag meron na tayong sinolve na problem. Okay, so same lang naman yung mukha ng ating formula, no? So, regardless kung definite yung number ng particles, or sorry, finite yung number ng particles, and kung meron tayong extended continuous object, same lang yung itsura ng formula. You have 1 over m, x times m. Ganun lang din dito, 1 over m integral of x dm. No? So, yung x times m part natin. Okay? So, before we proceed to the problem solving, tignan muna natin ang ibang concepts that involve yung center of mass. So, sabi dito, the center of mass of any symmetric object of uniform density lies on an axis of symmetry and on any plane of symmetry. So, ang ibig lang niyan sabihin, class, kung meron tayong geometrically symmetric object, yung center of mass nun ay naglalay sa axis of symmetry and any plane of symmetry. So, kunwari, itong cube natin, asan ba ang axis of symmetry natin? Madami kasi, no? So, meron kang symmetry sa y, di ba? Meron kang axis of symmetry sa x. Ibig sabihin ng axis of symmetry, pag hinati ko to sa y, magkamukha pa rin ba sila? Yes, di ba? Pag hinati ko siya sa x, magkamukha pa rin? Yes, magkamukha pa rin. Pag hinati ko to sa diagonal, magkamukha? Yes, magkamukha pa rin. So, lahat ng yan ay axis of symmetry, and yung intersection niya, basically, or in all those three axes, naglalay yung center of mass, no? Yung intersection part. Ganon din sa plane, no? Kapag nag-drawing ako ng plane, plane of symmetry, no? So, symmetric siya on the, ito na naman tayo, symmetric siya on the y, so, parang ganyan. Okay, and then symmetric siya on the x, parang ganyan. And then, symmetric din siya on the z. So, parang ganyan. Ayan, na-drawing ko na siya finally. Wait lang. Ayan. So, at whatever plane, no, tawag dito, nasa azimuthal ka man, nasa vertical or nasa horizontal plane ka man, lahat ng yan, each of these plane would consist your center of mass. So, nakapaloob doon sa plane of symmetry mo yung center of mass ng geometrically symmetric object. So, it's also true for the sphere and for the cylinder. So, hindi ko na gagawin syempre. So, ganun din dito, no? Kunwari meron kang disk. So, yung axis of symmetry niya ito. Axis of symmetry niya nandito din. So, nandiyan yung kanya center of mass sa gitna. Ganun din pag hinati mo siya diagonally, same lang din. Okay? So, oops. Yun yung point nitong first statement, no? And in addition, doon sa donut natin, ganun din. If I'm going to divide it vertically, horizontally, and diagonally or azimuthal, yung intersection niya will simply point out to the center of mass. No? So, lagi nating tatandaan, for a geometrically symmetric object, ang center of mass ay laging nakapaloob sa axis of symmetry. Yung axis of symmetry natin, ito yun, kung saan sila magkakamukha pa rin. kahit saan mo i-divide, kumbaga. And aside from the axis of symmetry, lagi din siyang makikita sa plane of symmetry. So, ibig sabihin, katulad nung kanina, if I'm going to divide this here, vertically, horizontally, and diagonally, lahat ng yan magko-contain yung, lahat ng plane na yan, i-contain niya yung center of mass ng object. Now, ito yung binabanggit ko sa start pa lang ng discussion na ang center of mass may not be within the object. So it is highly possible that the center of mass is, halimbawa sa donut, na ito class, very honest, no? Hindi ko pa rin siya magets hanggang ngayon. So binanggit ko din to sa CE ko. Hindi ko magets kung paano yung center of mass ng donut ay nasa gitna. Kasi di ba ang point kasi ng center of mass class ay kung saan siya pwedeng i-balance. Okay, saan siya pwedeng i-balance. Kumbaga yun yung pinaka most balance point niya. Pero sa donut, hindi ko talaga magets kung paano mo ibabalanse yung donut sa hole niya, di ba? Pero, yeah, according to center of mass theory is, hindi daw laging nasa loob ng object ang center of mass, no? I also watch, wait lang, let me see if I can find it sa internet, wait lang. Let me just pause the recording first. I-pause ko siya.